and welcome to Black Cats Chat, the international fans podcast of Sunderland FC. My name is Lee. I'm in Bilbao, and we're back after another 1-1 draw yesterday at Bournemouth. Quite a good result considering that we had 3 defeats on the bounce and Bournemouth were flying high in 8th. To go over the match today, I've got 2 guests, international fans. Jeff is in Menorca. Jeff, how are you, mate? Buenos dias.
Yeah, buenos dias, Lee. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, all good here. Sun shining. It's a beautiful day.
Brilliant.
Feels like the start of spring, although it isn't quite yet, but it feels like it.
Yeah. And our second guest has also got sun shining, but he's also got something else in the background as well. It's Stuart White. He's from the United Arab Emirates Sunderland branch in Dubai. Stuart, I think it must be afternoon now. How are you, mate? A lot going on there at the minute, isn't there?
Yeah, all good at the moment, Lee. Yeah, it's gone quiet now. There's been no missiles for a few hours, so hopefully it stays that way.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Anyway, listen, lads. So yesterday, it felt like, I don't know, we needed a big performance yesterday, didn't we? After 3 defeats on the bounce, because if we lose again, Stuart, 4 defeats and then go into a away match at Leeds could potentially become 5 defeats. So we needed to kind of stop the little rot in a way, didn't we?
We did.
In terms of the lineup, I mean, he had a big choice to make because there were a few injuries. Brian Brobby was out, Mookie Ellie was out, no Ronaldo, no Serkin. So Trouder came in at right back, Trey Hume at left back. The midfield 3, Grant and Xhaka came back in, which was like a big boost. But then he went for Enzo on the left, Talby on the right, and Mayendo up front. I think, given the circumstance, I think that was probably the best 11 we could put out, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Obviously, a lot of second string players in there, or players out of position anyway. But I thought that was the strongest one he could pick. Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yep. Jeff, your thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, I don't think we had much option, to be perfectly honest. You know, very unlucky in the previous game to get 4 injuries in. It's unheard of, isn't it? To have 4 players with, 2 serious injuries and 2 going to be out for between 2 and 4 weeks. And, I can't ever imagine, I can't ever remember that happening to a side before, to lose 4 players for potentially a minimum of a month. And I believe, Mundell could be out for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of season-ending injuries. So yeah, we're on the bones of our backsides really, because I couldn't see how else he was going to do it. I suppose the only other option he would have had was to start with Angulo on one of the wings, but I think that was either him or Talby to start. But yeah, I mean that was it. That was as good as it was going to get, really.
Yeah, you mentioned there, Jeff. You can't remember a time when when four people got injured in the match. That happens to the Mags every week, man. They've got loads of injuries. Hey, black and white bastards. Anyway, so listen, we start. I mean, Mayenda and Isidore, Stuart. It was a toss of a coin, really. But I suppose Mayenda proved that he deserved to start with the goal that he got.
Yes.
I mean, he's a fan's favourite. I mean, both of them are fans' favourites, aren't they, Mayenda and Isidore? We love them both, but it hasn't really happened apart from the start of the season for them, hasn't it? But hopefully Mayenda now, he's got a chance to make that place his own again.
I hope so, because I really like his attitude and his style. He's got something about him, the lad. I really hope he makes it. The Wilson Isidore, I'm really not sure what's going on with him at the moment. He doesn't look a happy bunny at all. I've heard stories that his wife's been settled in the area and she wants to move, so perhaps that's behind something, I don't know. Because like I said, another fan's favourite, Wilson. Very popular player, but at the minute he seems to be playing under a cloud. So yeah, it's a great shame.
No, it is a shame. Right then, lads. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share the screen and we'll review the highlights as we see them. Right, I think you can see the screen, lads. Can you? Is that right?
I can see you.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so here's the first chance, Jeff, after, it was only like 2 or 3 minutes, I think, wasn't it, when we had a good start, didn't we? On the front foot.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes we were very good, yeah.
And you see here,
rightly.
I mean, we see here, like, Sadiqi's, like, dancing through as a shot, and then, obviously, here's the big talking point of the match. I mean, if this gets given, Stuart, after 3 minutes... we go 1-0 up after 3 minutes, it changes the whole game, I think, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, it was a stonewall penalty for me. Even our friend on Match of the Day this morning said it was a penalty. So, yeah, it must have been. But how the referee didn't give it and how VAR didn't see it, I've got no idea. I just bemused by VAR at times. It picks up the slightest little offside decision on occasion and then
Yep.
misses stonewall very, very clear-cut issues like that. So I don't understand it.
Well, I
But
mean, according to VAR, Jeff, in the Premier League or the PGMO, it's basically normal contact. Now, you can see here, there's like, pause it right there. There's an elbow in the back, and he comes through the back of him.
Yeah.
That is not normal contact, is it not?
No, absolutely not. I mean, he bottled it, didn't he? And I think part of that was down to the fact of where we were in the game. You know, it had only just started. I think had we been a little bit further down the line, it absolutely. I mean, I can't see what's not a penalty about that. There's nothing for the defence, is there?
No.
There's no argument for the defence. You've got the arm in the back, and then he clips his heels as well. So nailed on. If that was what's he called, Bakary Saka for Arsenal bursting into the box, and he landed in a heap, it's a penalty all day. It's poor officiating, and the inconsistency with VAR just highlights it. And I think the refs bottle it more now because they look upon VAR as a sort of emergency backup spare to get the decisions right. But in that case, they both got it wrong. As I said, I've watched that a number of times, and I cannot see any reason why that shouldn't be given as a penalty.
Yeah, no, I mean the push in the back. I mean, yeah, tangle of legs. You could argue that Lafay goes over a little easily, but he's lightweight, isn't he? So any kind of minimal contact, he's going to go down, isn't he, Stuart?
yeah, it definitely is. The guy who tapped him's obviously a head above him. I'm just sitting here exasperated watching that again and thinking, how did that not get picked up? I understand the referee was at Bournemouth Station after the game. He was roundly abused by all the lads on the platform.
Is that right?
Perhaps he's learned his lesson after the game.
Well, just to make sure, just to remind everyone as well, this is like Jared Gillett, the Aussie referee, who was also the referee when we lost 4-0 against Borough at home, and he sent Dan Neil off for saying fuck off 20 yards away at half time. Which we're going to get onto that point later on because actually there's another point that happened. But anyway, Jeff, this is our goal. I mean, listen, I thought for the first 10 minutes we started really well. We were passing the ball nicely. We were doing some nice triangles. And I think we got what we deserved, didn't we, after, 18 minutes when this happened?
Yeah, it's the pass from Ballard, isn't it? It's an absolute peach. He picks Diarra out there. It's a great pass. That's a pass of a world-class midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Not a
centre-back.
He absolutely nailed it. Great touch from Diarra and strike. I think the shot was on target.
Yeah.
So, and the keeper, all he could do was push it into Mayenda's path. Good anticipation from Mayenda to be in the right place for the rebound. And well worked goal.
Yeah.
But I think Ballard deserves the credit for the assist as much as Diarra does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. Stuart, I mean, it's nice to see Ballard picking out those passes, isn't it? But also Diarra getting into those positions because we do need more from Sadiq and Diarra going forward, don't we?
Without a doubt, we do. On the Ballard question, I think his game has improved so much this season. He's always been a big, strong, combative player in both penalty boxes. But now we are seeing much, much more from him, taking the ball forward. He's doing what Luke O'Nien used to do for us last season.
Mm-hmm.
He's brilliant carrying the ball forward, and it's a brilliant pass. It really is a top quality midfielder that's passed that. But Sadiq and Diarra, we definitely need more because the front three for me still isn't working very well. We've tried various combinations of centre forward with different wingers, and none of them have seemed really clicked, have they? So we definitely need to see more from the midfield that's pushing on. We see plenty from Lafay, he gets forward enough, But Diarra and Siddiqui, I think we need to see more from both of those.
Yeah. And then Stuart, on the fact of me ender here, I like the way that he's alert, isn't he? He's anticipating.
He is, yeah. He's alive.
You know what I mean?
He's
He's alive, and that's what gets him the goal. No, like being alive and alert and getting the rebound. And that's something that we've probably missed a bit this season, isn't it? Like that fox in the box kind of thing.
Without a doubt, yeah. I mean, Robbie, I love Robbie's style. He's a big, strong lad, but I think he's not the quickest around. Where Minda was onto that in a flash. So yeah, it's really a good team goal.
Yeah, and even though to tap in, you got to be there to put it in, haven't you? So
yeah.
Right then, here's the next part. Then, so we get caught out here. Robin Roos makes a good double save. As you'd expect, it's standard, isn't it, from Robin Roos, isn't it? Now, Jeff, that's what we expect from Robin Roos, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a revelation this season, hasn't he? There hasn't been many errors on his behalf that have been that costly. He's been a fantastic addition to the squad, and probably punched above his weight, really. From what we expected at the start of the season. He was unknown to us. 10 million signing for a player these days in the Premier League is nothing. It's 10 million quid's a lot of money, but in footballing terms, it's an insignificant amount for an unproven goalkeeper. But he's been a shining light this season. Very, very good. I can't fault the kid.
Yeah, Stuart, was he lucky not to have been penalised for a little mistake he made when he came out of the box and he was like going to kick it and he decided to dribble it, and then one of their players got onto him? Bournemouth fans are irate. Iraola's fuming, saying they should have had a red card. But I thought that he was always in front of the ball. He was always in front of their defender, and he had the ball under his control, and the guy came in through the back of him, didn't he? That's what I thought.
I never thought it was a red card. I never thought it was a foul on anybody but onto Roofs. But he has been almost caught a few times now in the past few weeks, playing out from the back. I think it's something we perhaps need to look at again. I know it's all part of the game these days. The goalkeeper's basically a sweeper now. But one of these days he's going to get caught out. He's been lucky a couple of times in the past few weeks. But no, it wasn't a red card, and it wasn't a foul by Roofs. It was a foul on Roofs without a doubt.
Yeah. Jeff, what I mean, on the stream I was watching, all you could hear was Sunderland fans. I thought that the away end was very, very noisy, and that always helps, isn't it, when you're away from home against a good team. You're struggling. I think like the players appreciate it as well, that the fans get behind them. How we would love for that atmosphere again at the Stadium of Light.
Yeah, I mean, I think it came across, what I was watching as well. All I could hear was our loss. But it's a small ground. They're in a compact corner with a roof over it, and obviously the sound reverberates. But a complete lack of consideration on the planners' part. To put us at 12:30 kickoff, the longest trip of the season. It stinks really. It's poor the way that the fans are treated. That's a pig of a trip from Sunderland. I think the Love Supreme coaches set up at midnight, didn't it?
Yep.
The night before, and you're not going to be getting back until like the early hours of this morning. From that, I did it years ago from Sunderland down to Southampton and to Brighton. And Bournemouth's further on from that. That's a stadium I've never been to. But as I said, the whole thing. Why did they particularly have to pick that fixture out for an early kickoff on a Saturday? There's no logic to it, is there? Lack of consideration. But it happens every year. We had like Plymouth Argyle away on a Monday night. I remember, who organised that?
Aye, but the fans were in good voice, and that never changes. Right then, Stuart, into the second half, and as we want to see, we see Enzo pick up the ball in that little pocket of space. He sees Diarra's on his bike, and ideally, that's where you want Isidore, isn't it? On my end there. But
It is, yeah.
Habib
It is.
Diarra's there. I mean, he's the furthest forward. Makes a great run, does everything right, but the finish was a bit weak.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see the angle from behind the goal, Stuart, like you can see that he's got a massive
good
gap
angle.
to the keeper's right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not a centre forward, is he? You see what Wilson, Isidore in there, or Mayenda getting that sort of ball, but yeah.
I mean, if
he took his shot and it didn't come off, but yeah.
Either side of the keeper, it's in, isn't it?
Well, I think
a yard either side of the keeper. It wouldn't matter if he pulled it across to the keeper's left or curled it in to the keeper's right. It was he just shot straight at him, didn't he? He made it easy for the keeper.
I think if you play that like along the floor.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. Like the keeper's like a big lad, isn't he? He's not going to get down. If you play it, I mean, he hit it at a good height, didn't he, for the keeper? So the keeper didn't really have to do much. But if he rolls that on the floor, Tommy Watson-esque, I mean, the keeper's not getting down in time for that. So I suppose that was a big chance at the start of the second half, wasn't it? To put us 2-0 up. But yeah, moving on then. He gets the double thing. Right then, Stuart. How do we assess this one?
Although the Zach Arthur was a red card. The lad went full pelting him. You can see him there. He actually leaves the ground before he hits Zaka. So I thought it was a straight red. But again, the referee and VAR decides it's not.
Yeah, I mean, the rule is apparently if it's on the ankle or above, I think it's a red card. And now
it's on the ankle.
Well, it's on the ankle, yeah. And it's reckless. And then I think the referee gave a yellow card. Took a while to give a yellow card.
He did.
VAR was having a look at it, and then VAR said it is reckless, it is high, but they take into account the fact that Adams was pushed. Now I'm struggling to see any kind of push here. I just see Adams.
If you go head first, you don't go feet first. You get pushed, don't you? You went feet first. Yeah.
I
don't see any push. Jeff, do you see any push in there?
No, very minimal contact.
About 10 yards back there is.
I'm gonna say I don't think it was a red card.
All right.
And the reason I think it wasn't a red card is I think right at the end, I think he tries to pull out. If you see like how he turns his body.
Yeah.
And that's the only sort of saving grace for me. I think if he was still chest on to Xhaka, then absolutely. But when I've watched this a couple of times, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Right. But to play devil's advocate, Jeff, right?
Yeah.
If you look at his touch. Not this one, that one. The ball's getting away from him.
Yeah.
Suddenly he's not in control. So he knows that he's got to kind of go in and stretch. So isn't that just reckless? Regardless of him trying to pull out, it's still reckless, isn't it?
Yes. The thing I will say in his defence, though, is that he did keep both of his feet on the ground as well. He didn't sort of go over the top. And by turning his body, I think that probably just saved him. As I say, if he goes front on into that, then yes, it's a red card all day. But just the last minute there as he turns, that for me is what saved him.
Yeah. Right. Well, if you disagree with Jeff, I'll put his address in the comments and you can.
Leeds, you know, it's the tactics now that players. There's very, very few real high tackles these days.
Yeah.
Do you think players are aiming for feet now because they don't get a red card and the effect is the same? You take them out of the game.
Well, the same thing.
Still on these days, and I just wonder if that's the new tactic.
Yeah. Possibly. I mean, because like nowadays, you know, the boots that they wear don't have very much protection. They're very light. And I remember. Do you remember the one we had? Was it Chelsea? And I think Mukiele got fouled by. Was it Pedro Neto? I think it was, who went in really hard on Mukiele, and the referee didn't even give a yellow card for that. I don't think. And that was a red. That was over the ankle. So yeah, it could be a tactic because they know that anything above the ankle is going to get a direct red card. Right. Stuart, this is their goal then. It was really frustrating to to concede this because I think there are several things which we could have done better. First of all, you look at Gertruda's positioning. He's not close enough, is he not?
He's not. We got very, very stretched, didn't we? It was a good crossfield ball, and Gertruda just didn't get across there quickly enough. So a good cross in, but we did get stretched there. And where's the man in front of Gertruda? Where's our right side midfield player? To give him some support. So there's a huge, huge gap opened up. And it wasn't just Gertruda, it was the midfield also. We were supposed to be in that space, but just wasn't there.
I mean, in terms of a cross, Jeff, I mean, that's a peach of a cross, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it had to be that, didn't it? That was the only way. The caught Roofs in two minds. If he'd stayed on his line, would he have saved it? Probably not. But
I reckon he might have, because it wasn't a very strong header, wasn't it? It was kind of one of those where it didn't have much power.
In the postage stamp, wasn't it? It did. I think it just caught the underside of the bar on the way in, didn't it? It would have been difficult to save from a standing start. But obviously, you're going to move it on a couple of frames here now. The issue for me is, what part of your arm can you use to score a goal? The ball clearly came off the upper part of his arm, and despite the the VAR thing, once again, it's the inconsistency. Are you allowed to use your arms to score? Which is what he did.
He did. But having said that, your point about Roofs had no chance of getting that ball at all. So what he was doing and where he ended up, I've got no idea. It was a poor decision from himself to go to get that ball.
Well, look, he decides to go early, doesn't he, Stuart? He decides to go for it early without really judging the flight of the ball. Because
I think you're right, yeah.
Because, I mean, listen, I suppose you'd think that, listen, if he's going to swing it in from that angle, it's going to kind of swing into that 6-yard area. But I think it swings a bit back, doesn't it? It goes further than he thinks. He's probably thinking it's going to land straight in his hands, bang in the centre, but it actually goes wider. What about Alderete here, Stuart? Do you think he could have done better? Because I thought he's in front of Evan Nilsson. Surely
he is. But it's getting that height to get the ball away, isn't it? The man running face forward, Evan Nilsson had the advantage there on Alderete, I think. It's just one of those goals, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Roofs, like I say, Roofs still on his line, I don't think it would have been a goal.
Yeah.
So I think it's more Roofs' issue than Alderete's, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Alderete had a very good game yesterday. I thought him and Ballard were excellent. And I also thought Gertruda had a good game as well. I thought those three in the back four, and I thought Trey Hume dealt relatively well with Ryan. He had a couple of nervy moments, but
he's on his foot. Trey Hume, I think he did okay yesterday.
Yeah. Jeff, you mentioned this handball, and I mean, like, this angle doesn't really show clearly, but I've seen angles where it looks really hard to tell, because I don't know if it comes off Alderete's head and then onto Evan Nilsson's arm, or if it comes off Alderete's arm onto Evan Nilsson's head. It's hard to really tell.
Well, the one I saw, it hit like his bicep. It sort of went in. It definitely, the last point of contact was his arm.
Yeah.
And I think it flicked, it did flick Alderete's hand, didn't it, on the way through? But, it's a disappointing thing, and especially when VAR's looked at it. As I said, the last point of contact is his arm, which pushes the ball forward into the goal.
Yeah. I mean, try and slow it down a little bit, see if I can get anything. But I mean,
the
angle
from behind the goal showed it more, but it certainly didn't come off his head.
Yeah,
or his shoulder. It was the upper part of his arm was the last point of contact.
Yeah, well, don't they say that the shirt length, isn't it? Is that what they say? The length of the shirt, isn't that like the cut-off point? For a handball. I think that's what they mentioned yesterday on the commentary.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, I suppose it's a valid goal, because it came off the upper part of his sleeve, shall we say.
Yeah.
So wear long sleeve shirts and there's no handballs then.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's the way it is, yeah.
If we have longer sleeves on our shirts next season down to the elbow, we'll be fine, won't we?
Aye. Right. What happened here then? This was a free kick for us. Oh, this was the disallowed goal. Do you think if that's, I don't know, a striker, Stuart, like maybe he kind of realizes he's offside and he leaves it, but Gertrude gets a bit of a nosebleed, realizes he's so far upfield and he just goes for it, unaware of his offside position?
Yeah, because from excitement. Yeah, like I say, he's probably a bit too far forward for his normal game. Yeah, but
Because, like, listen, Ballard's not offside. He's clearly onside.
No.
Ballard goes for it. Gertrude, obviously, he's got the player behind him, and he's ahead of it. So he must know he's offside. Because surely, yeah, he thinks, I know I'm offside. Just leave it. No, because I think it was going in anyway, wasn't it, without Ballard's intervention?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, one of the lads commented in the pub, it's a bit like the goal that was just out for Sheffield last year at Wembley. Very similar issue in front of the keeper. So we won one, we lost one on that one, I think.
Aye, yeah, we certainly did, and I don't know what's happened with this, but it seems to have frozen. Hang on, see if I can get it back. Right, there we go. So we'll watch the replay, and you see there, he's offside. Oh, and if he just leaves it, 'cause I don't think any of them get a touch with it. Not just like, but anyway, never mind. Right. So all in all, we'll take a point, won't we? Because I thought it was a hard place to go to, and we've got a tough game on Tuesday night, Jeff, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, on the back of 3 defeats, it was important, wasn't it, to get something. And I had nothing down for us, to be perfectly honest, because they've been in the ascendancy. They've been playing well. We were absolute bare bones of a squad, really. So yeah, in current circumstances, a very, very good point. It gets us one step nearer to the magic 40, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And although looking at the bottom end of the table, I think we've got enough points now. It's just going to be interesting to see how we finish, because we've obviously started the season and exceeded our expectations massively. It's going to be interesting to see how we finish off. Can we get another burst and finish with momentum? 10 games to go. Let's hope we can pick up another dozen or so points. It'd be nice to get 50 plus points, wouldn't it, in our first season back? I think it's achievable, but we're going to need a couple of those players back in just to give us a bit more depth. I cringed yesterday when that challenge on Xhaka, and I thought, fuck me, if we lose him, for another month, because he stayed down for quite a while, didn't he? Mm-hmm. I thought we were going to be seriously in the shit if he's missing for a big chunk of what's left. But fortunately, by all accounts and what I've read, he's fine, and it was just time management why they took him off on about 75 minutes yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I watched the Leeds game last night against City, and Leeds were the better side. My stepson is a Leeds fan, and I watched the game with him. He's back living with us at the moment until the summer season starts. So I watched the game with him last night, and I thought Leeds played really well. They moved the ball very quickly, something that we don't do often enough, in my opinion. They play a really high tempo, and we're gonna be in for a tough game on Tuesday night.
Yeah, Stuart, I mean, that's one of my complaints, is that we seem to have an identity when it comes to defending, because we have got a lot of players who've got lots of energy. They run, they get back, they defend, they put their bodies on the line. But at the top end of the pitch, I'm struggling to see a clear identity of the way we play. For example, I wrote down in the comments yesterday that our attack and play was basically Jacques and Sadiq and Diarra passing amongst each other. Then they end up passing back to Ballard and Alderete, and then Ballard and Alderete just 2 foot upfield.
It is, yeah. It's the front three thing just doesn't work at all. If either of them gets the ball, then there's no one around them. The two wingers are told to stay wide, so there's no easy pass for the centre forward or there's no easy pass for the winger to the centre forward. They're all too far apart. I don't know if we need to change formation to go a bit narrower to make it easier to change passes and get the ball forward quickly. Because, you know, 2 10-yard passes are much quicker than 1 30-yard pass, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And that final third just hasn't worked. No matter what combination we've had, it hasn't really worked this season.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've got plenty of those points, we've got those goals, but you think with a tighter unit in the front three would be better again.
Yeah.
So we do need to change something up there.
Yeah, I mean, Talby, I like him, but I just think that his ball retention isn't very good. I think when he gets the ball, he kind of shits himself because he thinks he's going to get clattered. He doesn't retain the ball. But Jeff, one of the positives yesterday was when Bertrand Traore came back on. Immediately, you could see what we've been missing. Like the first ball he received it at his feet, put his arm out like that, held the defender off, had to look up and pick the pass out. And I was like, that's what we've been missing.
Yeah, absolutely. His hold up play. I mean, he's not the quickest around. You know, Talby's probably got the legs on him, but for, you know, he's all round general play. You know, experience as well, isn't it? And it's, you know, it's not all about, you know, trying to beat your fullback. It's say holding the ball up, giving the others time to link up with the player. But as Stuart said earlier, we're too far apart up front, aren't we? We're not getting those knockdowns and somebody running onto it sort of thing. It tends to be our centre forwards isolated up there, and I'm not sure, you know, I don't fully understand the formats and diamond shapes and one thing and another, but it's blatantly obvious that there's no link up play or there's a lack of link up play between the midfield and the centre forward. Need to get somebody closer. So does that mean, you know, you play 4-4-2? Nobody does that anymore, do they? It's like a thing of the past.
Yeah.
But it worked. It worked very well for us in the past, didn't it?
Do you know what though? I think like playing 4-4-2 with the way we just like get Alderete and Ballard to boot the ball up, I think that'd probably be better, wouldn't it? Because we'd have two strikers chasing the ball rather than one.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you know, going back to old adages, you know, it was very successful for us in the late 90s and early 90s, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Stuart, we've got a couple of minutes left, so looking to Leeds on Tuesday, I think we take a point, no? Like, given the way Leeds play, they're very attacking. They've got a good home record as well. The fans get really behind them. I think I'd take a point now, would you?
Yes, without a doubt, yeah. Happy with a 0-0 draw on Tuesday night, without a doubt.
Yeah. Jeff?
My stepson came out with a very interesting statistic yesterday when I was watching the game with him. Leeds have played 25 games under the lights with Daniel Farker as manager. They've won 20 and drawn 5. They've never lost for the last, couple of seasons. Midweek games at home under the lights.
So you're telling me it's going to change, Jeff?
Well, records never broken.
Aren't they just?
Right, lads. Right, we'll wrap it up there for the day. Thanks for joining us. But listen, Stuart, if you want to say one more comment about Jared Gillett, now's your time, mate.
No, I think we should just forget him. Hopefully he'll go back to Australia where he belongs.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to say is thanks for the invite. Great to meet Jeff. And any of the boys are across in Dubai and want to watch the match, they're more than welcome to come to the pub and join us. It'd be great to see us across here.
Brilliant. Now, Jeff, I know you won't hold back from the referee, so go on, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, you can go and boil his fucking head as far as I'm concerned.
Brilliant, lads. Right, we'll see you midweek. We'll be back for another review show probably on Wednesday evening for the Leeds game. We'll see you then. How are the lads? Yeah.